What's up everyone, John from Beyond Artv. It's time for an updated CD collection because finally, you guys have been asking for it and I've got a big old stack of CDs right here. Wow, these are a little heavier than I expected, and I am going to be showing off everything that I got in the past year or so. It's been about a year, I think, since I did my updated CD collection, so if you want to see any of the other installments, then click the link to the playlist in the description down below, or else it will be linked in the end screen at the end of the video. Please drop a like on this video. Let me know, what have you added to your CD collection that you're really proud of, or what would you like to steal from my collection? Comment down below and let's get right into it. First up, we have Little Dark Age by MGMT. This is a fantastic record. This came out in February of this year. This is on Columbia Records. Oh, Jesus Christ. I am so sorry you had to see that. And I was just about to praise Columbia for a well-packaged CD too. Are you seeing this? This just fell straight out of the back. All I did was open it, and this just fell flat. You know what? Never mind, on to the next one. Next we have a gift from a very generous Patreon supporter of mine. This is from Andrew. This is the newest They Might Be Giants album. It's called I Like Fun, and not only is it the album, but it's also signed, as you can see right here on the front. That's really, really cool. It's a numbered copy. What's this one? Does this say 60 on it? I believe, I don't know, or is it the 144? I remember him telling me that it was, and I actually reviewed this album in a little album roundup segment that I did, so if you're curious, check that out over on the main channel. These next few are some more current releases, and here I have the newest from Jack White. This is called Boarding House Reach. I decided that I didn't quite like it enough to own on vinyl because my rule of thumb with vinyl records is that I don't buy it unless I really like, or else in most cases love the album, at least the majority of the tracks. And while I do love a lot of this album, I bought it on CD instead. I have all of Jack White's solo albums on CD, all of the White Stripes records and everything like that, so this of course had to be added to the collection. Kind of mesmerizing record in an odd way, and I get how it doesn't exactly have a broad appeal, but just give it another listen. You know I had to grab that new Casey Musgraves album. What a beautiful record we have on our hands right here. This record is phenomenal, golden hour. Even if you're not really into country, then this album is still gonna be for you. If you like emotional, well-written, and well-conceived songs, the songwriting here is impeccable. The spacious, lush feels of spaced-out country meets pop is absolutely luxe. So you know I grabbed this album here, and you'll see in another vinyl update as well. I also grabbed the latest album from The Voids, formerly Julian Casablancas and The Voids. Haven't had a chance to even open this one yet because I just got it. It literally just came in the mail the day that I'm filming this video. But we've got The Voids with Virtue, a great album here, especially if you're into more experimental alternative stuff, then please check it out. Portugal the Man were kind enough to send me a copy of their album Woodstock as a thank you for appearing in the roast video that, yes, they requested, and that so many people didn't pick up on the fact that it was obvious sarcasm. I really worry for this next generation. I wasn't in love with this album by any means, but it was a nice gesture, and I do like the way that the tracks are actually written out and spelled on here, you know, just the font. It's very aesthetically pleasing and it fits with the whole Woodstock theme. I don't know, I like the album cover too. Some good songs on there, but by no means amazing. Let's start going a little bit more quick fire through these because I don't want to make this a super overly unnecessarily long video. Next we have London Grammar, a UK band with their, I believe, sophomore album. That's their sophomore album, right? Truth is a Beautiful Thing. They're following up their debut, which was immensely successful in the UK, and while this one wasn't nearly as big, it deserved better. It was one of my honorable mentions for albums last year, and it's a really lush experience, a nice listening experience there. I also grabbed Wolf Alice, Visions of a Life. This is a really, really great album that does differ from their debut, but still a lot of beautiful stuff in here, and so many of these tracks have really stuck with me. This is an album's album once again, and they really outdid themselves. Most bands will kind of struggle, I feel like, sometimes on that sophomore release, but this just felt kind of effortless in the best way. Next we have, wait a second. How did that get in there? A signed copy of the Brian Stars EP? Definitely didn't buy that for $3 and use it as a prop in a video or anything like that. For whatever reason, I did not own a CD copy of the self-titled album by St. Vincent, so that's why this is here. We also have the Charlie Bliss album, Guppy. Some fantastic tunes on here if you like power pop, if you like alternative, if you like the Weezer debut album, and even like the Green album, stuff like that by them, then you will totally love this. I recommend tracks like DQ, Julia, Westermark. I hope I pronounced that one right. I think that's a city's name. But I'm gonna be seeing these guys at Boston Calling, and I'm super excited. Then we have a couple of surprising additions because I actually did not own CD copies of this for whatever reason. These actual 2 albums. And Hannah, my girlfriend, gave me these for Christmas and birthday, I believe. We got Fully Ado by Fall Out Boy. I love this record, had it on vinyl, but did not have a CD copy. For whatever reason, I had lost my old one and never picked up a new one, so here we are. Then we have Take This to Your Grave, also by Fall Out Boy, and I actually never, for whatever reason, never owned a CD copy of this, so this is a great addition. I like the little fold out here. It's got some cool old throwback emo pics of the band, and then the nice secure CD just right in there. Very, very cool. I like all the blue on there. Then we have Science Fiction by Brand New. Obviously, that was my favorite record of last year, so I got a CD copy of that as well. And yeah, I don't know. Not a huge fan of the art on the CD, but whatever, doesn't matter because that's important what's on there. And what's on there is some amazing music. Then we have Nothing But Thieves, Broken Machine. This is the standard edition here. This isn't the deluxe. It's just got this standard, I believe, 11 songs on there. Still a fantastic record. I have it on vinyl as well. We also have Mute Math with their album Play Dead. This is a very immersing experience because it's so electronic meets alternative. They really bridge the gap quite well, and it's a fantastic release that was the final with their drummer DK, so I'm sad to see him go. Then we have Villains by Queens of the Stone Age. Queens of the Stone Age came back with a very different release, and you can see it's got a little slide-off cover here, which is pretty cool. Mark Ronson did the producing for the majority of this record, and while it was polarizing to some fans, and some fans are saying it's not heavy enough and that sort of thing, I absolutely love moments like Fortress and Unreborn Again. There's a lot of great singles on here as well. I'm even really getting a little bit more keen on Head Like a Haunted House. I wasn't initially a fan. I grabbed a copy of Painted Ruins by Grizzly Bear, a really cool alternative rock band that have been at it for a while now, and I just feel like they're kind of immensely underrated. So if you never saw my review of that album, or you've just never checked these guys out, then please do so because they're extremely consistent, and this one once again proves that. Check out this, Painted Shields. They've got a great discography that you could really dive into. You know I've got a copy of Kesha's Rainbow, and I love the way that this one feels. Oh yeah, that feels good right there. I don't know, it's something about the way that this is styled. It's very different from even like these other CDs that I've been handling. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Anyways, despite my weird CD fetish aside, there's many, many, many great anthemic tracks and empowering ones on here. So yeah. I even grabbed a copy of One More Light by Linkin Park just to round out my CD collection for them, and just because obviously this was the final album with Chester Bennington, I really wanted it. I just wanted to have it in my collection. That might sound weird, and even though like I'm not the biggest fan of this album at all, I just wanted to grab that last one that had Chester on it. I don't know, just call it childhood nostalgia, call it, I don't know, honoring somebody that I really respected, but I wanted to own a copy of it. I also, 2 more to go, Royal Blood, I got this one right here, How Did We Get So Dark? Really good sophomore release, but I do wish that over time, I guess I felt like I wish it had a little bit more diversity to it, but I'll have to see what they pull out on the next album. I really did like some of these tracks like Hole in Your Heart and not Hook, Line, and Sinker. I know that one was a little bit more dull. The track Sleep that closes out the album, and obviously Lights Out, great single. That leaves only one more CD. What could it be? None other than the legends themselves, The Killers. Wonderful, wonderful. We waited 5 years for this release, and we finally got it, and actually it was more of a return to form. I need to revisit this album soon. I need to put this in my car and listen to the CD more because it's been a while since I've heard it in full, but every time tracks come up on shuffle, I'm always kind of impressed and saying to myself, you know what? The Killers actually came back, they returned, and they delivered on some of the promises they made. So good for them. And if you haven't checked out Wonderful Wonderful just because you didn't like some of their more recent releases, you might get into the vibe of this. You never know. Thank you so much for watching my CD collection update today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been heavily requested, so I wanted to make this for you guys. If you want to see any of my other vinyl or CD updates, like I said, link in the description, or else in just a second at the end of this video, you'll see the little outro screen and click on that playlist. If you're able to support me on Patreon, that would be great. It's right over here in the corner of this video. If you want to see the playlist that I was talking about with all the CD and vinyl stuff, right over here, or another recent video I did on the channel right over here. All of my social media accounts can be found stuffed in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you soon on Beyond ARTV.